Okay. How many of you all I'm going to change the language. So listen, how many of you all waste time on social media? Nobody's going to admit to that
We
one.
always time on
We all
social media.
do. We all do. What we're
Yeah.
going to be talking about tonight is literally how to maximize and how to utilize your time on social media more effectively, how to take all those kind of interactions that you're having and show you how to create new, not just connections, but new contracts, what do you call it? Clients for your business. So I'm hoping that you all will get something that you can put into action very, very quickly. Before we dive in, let's do a quick introduction because Toni, we always, we know people know who we are because they're here, but let's do a very quick intro. Toni, tell the people who you are, and I'll do the same, and then we'll dive into our content.
Toni Harris Taylor, Houston, Texas, sales and marketing coach, networking queen, owner of NIA, Network in Action in Northeast Houston. And I also own Drastic Results Training Solutions, where I help my entrepreneur friends get known, get connected so they can get paid.
Awesome.
Oh, wow, that's great.
And for those of you all who I don't have the pleasure of knowing yet, my name is Tish Times. I am a networking and sales expert. I own a Network in Action franchise in Phoenix, Arizona, and my company that I've owned for over 10 years is called Tish Time Networking and Sales Training, where we help you infuse you with unstoppable confidence. Hence, you've heard us talk about unstoppable and drastic. Those names or those words come on purpose. So where are we gonna start, Toni? Let's dive into our thing tonight.
Well, you know what? We don't have a planned PowerPoint presentation. We thought we'd have a conversation around how to use social media to turn your contacts to contracts. And social media can be whichever platform you want, Facebook, LinkedIn, because it's all about building relationships with people so that they know who you are.
Right.
And at the end, I'm going to tell you a story that's going to put a bow on this thing. So, all right. So I guess my first thought is, what's your favorite social media platform? Howard, I already know, LinkedIn. I already know. Well, Tracy, what do you do?
Well, I am an IT senior professional. I have over 30 years experience within the IT industry. So IT has been my life for, well, more years than I can shake a stick at. When I came into the business, Windows wasn't even thought of. I started out in DOS. So I built everything up from that point on. So when I go into these businesses and working within this field, you get a lot of pushback. It is a male-dominated field, and being a woman and being a Black woman, you had to fight your way through a lot of struggles coming up. Well, with that, I felt though, yes, I'm good at it, but what else can I do with this? So I created my company, which is TEP Consulting Solutions. I offer basic computer training and coaching, development, career coaching.
Computer training and coaching, that's good. That's great. That's where I started my entrepreneurial journey. Training computers.
Talent, go do something with it.
Absolutely.
And I find myself talking about this more often than not. And a friend of mine said, you need to take that further. So now I've taken it further. I'm doing things now. But of course, the whole networking and the marketing piece is a little bit elusive to me because gone are the days, that we can just do things how we used to do it before. That's not there anymore. So.
Absolutely. So do you use social media now for your business?
Yes, I created my Facebook page and of course LinkedIn, because of course when I got downsized from ING Direct, everybody knows ING Direct, when there was that online banking, we got bought up by Capital One. And with that, LinkedIn wasn't even available 10 years ago, so no one even heard about LinkedIn. Now that's the premier tool for you to use to get you further for the job market and just to be out there. That's the number one thing that people look for. So why not? So
absolutely. So make sure you connect with me and Tish on LinkedIn.
I will. I'm going to put a note right now.
So I will say, for me, my favorite social media tool is Facebook first, and then LinkedIn.
Okay.
Why Facebook? Because for me, when I go networking with people, I like to know the human side of them first.
Right.
I can go to LinkedIn and look at their resume, and to me, it looks like a resume. It doesn't tell me they have cute grandkids. It doesn't tell me where they went to school. It doesn't tell me that, you know, their parent is ill and they're going through some stuff. They don't share that stuff on LinkedIn.
No.
Why is that important to me as a sales and marketing coach? Because I'm building relationships with people.
Right.
So when people feel like I care, and I do genuinely care, then they want to know what more can we do together. And it really is about using these tools to build relationships. Can we do Facebook ads? Yes, right? We can. And Tish and I are going to go to training and we're going to learn how to do ads and do them right. We're excited about that. We're going to be certified in Facebook. And but still underneath the ad are human beings.
Right.
Yeah.
And depending on the business you're in, Facebook tells you everything you need to know intelligence-wise to solidify the relationship that turns to business.
Yeah. You know, one of those things, Toni, we were laughing or talking about it earlier. Carol asked a question about my vow renewal, and you know, it's something that I did that may seem a little weird. Like, why would you do that? I live streamed it on Facebook because, on some level, no, I don't want to tell every single aspect of my life, but just like Toni said, we want to get to know the people we want to do business with. We, on some level, have to be willing to be a little more vulnerable as well. And so, believe it or not, by opening up that door and letting people into who you are, they also will feel more like they know you. And when you do reach out to them, it's not a cold call. It's not a stranger reaching out. You know, when I reach out to someone now, they're going, "Oh my God, I love the yellow. I saw the vow renewal." And believe it or not, I've had people go right from that video or some of my personal pictures, and then I'll see them go like my business page right away. So they're going, "Oh, this is so nice. What does she do for a living?" Boom. You know, and now you have an opportunity to have that deeper conversation. So don't be so guarded. I know sometimes it's a little hard to be vulnerable, but don't be so guarded that we don't let people get to know who we are as well. Wouldn't you agree, Toni?
I absolutely agree. So Howard asked a really good question. Do you both find that meaningful subject-based business relationships can be established only through LinkedIn? I haven't used Facebook.
That's a great question. That's a really great question. I'm going to go with no. And the reason I say no, when you said only business-based relationships through LinkedIn, I'm going to say no because my entire endeavor when I meet someone on any one of my social media platforms, and I'm all in, okay? So if I'm on, I'm all in. I'm there consistently. I'm reaching out. I'm doing private messages with people. My entire intention, Howard, is to bring them from that social media platform into my world. So I'm inviting them to jump on a call with me. I'm inviting them to come to an event that I'm hosting, something along those lines. So now it goes from strictly business to, so tell me a little bit more about yourself. So let's talk about these other things. So I don't believe that it can only be on LinkedIn first and foremost. And I don't believe that LinkedIn has to only be business. Although we do see that business side, I think we can utilize it a different way based on our approach.
So it depends on what you sell and who you're selling to. That's also a big factor. Now, Howard, I know you tend to sell more to executive level people, but executive level people like to hear their grandkids are cute too.
Yeah.
They like to hear that people are paying attention to them too. And Facebook, I always connect on both. If I can find them on both, I will connect on both. Because even though I may start the business conversation in LinkedIn, I'm going to go to Facebook to get all the intelligence that I need to solidify the relationship. And people on Facebook tell you everything you need to know. Carol is a realtor. When do people want to buy houses? when there's a major life change, buy or sell, when there's a major life change. So if their parents just passed away, they probably have to deal with their parents' house. So you don't go in for the house at that moment, of course not. But you do put it down somewhere in your tickler, you know, so-and-so's parents just passed away. Reach out in a month to check on them and see how they're doing.
Yes.
Not go after the house. Hey, in a month you say, hey, I saw your parents passed away. I'm so sorry. What can I do to support you? Oh, Carol, you're a realtor, right? Yeah, me and my siblings have been talking about what to do with their house. Can you talk to me about that?
Yeah.
And I have closed so much business that way. And it's
Yeah.
not insincere. I genuinely want to know, what can I do? How can I help? Just approaching people with a conversation helps them to understand that you care.
Right. I completely agree. Absolutely. I don't know if, does that answer your question, Howard? Does that help? You can unmute too if you want to chat with us.
Yeah, I did want to respond sort of by voice. Can you all hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you both. That was great insight. And you're both very wise in your business. So
Thank
you
you.
bring a wisdom that I find very inspirational. So thank you both. I did want
Thank you.
to sort of respond on one interesting point Tish made. So just as a recap, and so Tony is absolutely right that I do sell mainly to executives, to business owners, to VP of marketing and sales, and I do lead generation for everyone on the meeting. I do multi-channel outbound marketing.
Okay.
I also do digital strategy, but my main forte is marketing to business owners, right, or VPs. So they don't do a lot with a lot of my audience doesn't do a lot with Facebook. So Tish made a very interesting point, and I just wanted to kind of elaborate on that and ask. So Tish, you said that you can use LinkedIn for more than just business.
I
So if
do.
most of my audience sort of lives in LinkedIn and that's what they're comfortable with, am I able, to Tony's point, build the relationship and be more holistic, but still reside only in LinkedIn?
I would say yes, and I'll give you some examples of how I utilize that, Howard, because again, you can't just inbox everybody, as we know, right? We have to have a relationship with them, or at least we have to start building that relationship. But ideally, I will invite them to a call. One of my best, I think, one of our best kept secrets, Tony, that everybody should know about is having a calendar link and inviting people to have a deeper conversation, because occasionally on LinkedIn, you'll be able to pick up some things. You can do some research. So for instance, I always use my husband. He's an Aggie. Aggies are a very special breed of alumni. And so whenever I meet someone, they're crazy, right? They love, love, love Texas A&M. So whenever I find someone, for instance, they went to A&M, I'm gonna reach out and say, hey, I see you're an Aggie. I know y'all are crazy about A&M. I'd love to chat about blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So I'll always go back and find where are the commonalities, where are the things that we probably both can relate to each other. That's one of the first things. The second one is a very sincere invitation. And so I might say something like, hey, Bill, I really enjoyed getting to kind of know you from your profile. I'd love to learn a little bit more about your history. How did you arrive to where you are? What are some of your aspirations business-wise that we might be able to help you with? Or, I mean, you just want to be really sincere. I don't want it to sound salesy, but I'll probably have 7 out of 10 people who will respond to that kind of sincere, I just want to get to know you better. How can I support you? And let me tell you my secret. I never got, Tony, I still haven't got to my 10,000. We got to do that. We'll
Yeah, I
talk
think
about
you
that.
did do it, but it bears repeating for
So
sure.
this is a different secret, but I'm going to tell you what works wonderfully for me, and Howard, this will be perfect for you along what you do. So I do these executive round tables rather, and I'll invite 2 to 4 people. Generally, 4 is the sweet spot. People who I think have something in common. So I'm going to look through my LinkedIn connections. I'm going to see that Tracy has something in common with Carol, but they don't know each other, and they both probably need to know Billy, right? So then I'm going to invite all 3 of these people and say something along the lines of, hey, I am doing connection circles this week. There is no selling involved. I can't sell anything, and neither can you. I just want us to get to know each other. I see a few people in my network that I really believe you need to know. Would you be interested in spending an hour just having a great connection conversation, no strings attached? And what I'll do is I'll send them a Zoom link, get them all 3 in a room, and guess what happens after that? It goes from business to and I just renewed my vows, and I just came back from vacation, or I plan on doing this and that. And I every time I don't have one person, Howard, that I have spent that time with that I don't have a second conversation with. And inevitably it turns out they say, hey, so when are you holding your next sales class? Or when are you doing, so it always ends up with them at least inquiring about business, but I get to know them a little bit better. And now I've made 3 new friends that at the very least, when I reach back out to them, it's not a cold call.
That is an
That's
absolute
brilliant.
That's a brilliant idea. I love that idea. That
Wonderful.
brings me a whole new set of strategy that I can come back with. That's a terrific suggestion. Never thought of it.
It
Right.
works beautifully. And again, at the very least, you make new friends. If you never do business together, you make some new connections. And I've had people that I've had in those rooms refer big deals to me later on.
So then, are you picking from your LinkedIn network people that you see have common interests?
So what I'll generally do is I'll do a search. So for instance, let's just say housing for Carol's sake, right? Housing. So then I'm going to find a commercial realtor and maybe a banker and then maybe an investor. You know what I mean? So I find people that I think have something in common and bring them together because they need to know each other. And I mean, in all honesty, we do it a lot because we're building networking groups too. So I'm like, who needs to know who? And it's a great tool for us to bring people into our groups, but it's also a great way for people who need to know each other, who might not ever know each other except for you being the nexus point. So I love and then you become their trusted resource. When they need something that you have to offer, guess who they're going to call? They're going to call you.
It just so happens I'm rolling out a new package with a partner where this strategy would be a perfect way of building synergy and curiosity. So it's a brilliant suggestion. Thank you so much.
You're absolutely right.
That was worth the price of admission.
Yes,
I
it
knew
was.
you'd say that, Tony. Much more, of course. No, it was priceless. How's that?
That was priceless. I love that. I love that. So awesome. So thank you so much. Who else has a question? We'll just go with Q&A. Yes, Carol.
Well, I was listening to you guys, Tish, and you too, Tony. I'll just tell you, the market has changed with my business because the phones used to ring off the hook. I used to get calls like, I know everybody like calls. Whatever business you're in, you love calls. Find somebody calling, hey, somebody referred me to you, or hey, can you help me? I got somebody that I know that needs your help. But right now, I don't know. Some people still have that type of business over here, but I don't know about you guys, but things change for me. It's like I want my calls to come back.
Yeah, we all do, yeah. So
yes. Go ahead.
I was going to ask a question, Tony. Carol, I've seen you a few times, and I think Facebook decides what you get to see, so I may not see it all. But what is your visibility like on the social media platforms that you are playing on? What is your visibility like as it pertains to what you do and just who you are?
Well, now I've changed a whole lot. I'm doing a whole different type of thing. I'm working with builders, and I'm working with builders, and I'm trying to get more motivated. I know how to do real estate. I know what to do, and I know how to build your business. But for some reason I slacked off a little bit, but I'm coming back. I'm working with builders, and I got some new builders I'm working with. These are really some really top of the notch builders that I'm working with. And I just got introduced to a builder this weekend, and I see myself doing a whole lot better because I sit there and do my open houses and people come. And what was that question you were asking again, Tish? What was it? Did you say?
How is your visibility on social media?
Okay, my visibility, I don't have any listings right now, but I'm working on it. I'm working
Okay.
on getting more listings. When you get more listings, then you get more calls, more revenue. You know, I switched brokers last year and I didn't get a chance. Well, I sold all my houses that I had, got rid of them all of them, and came to this new broker. But, you know, when you have listings, you have business, you have people calling you. And I had a couple houses I sold this year and didn't last on the market long. I did get some business from it, and make a long story short, my Facebook page doesn't really give me justice, my business page, because I'm not promoting houses. I'm going to be doing that. I'm gonna start taking pictures and doing videos and doing ads. I'm gonna start doing all that more because Toni is pushing me into that. This is what
That's
you
about
do when
right.
you
Yeah.
want business.
Yeah. I love that.
Thank
So she has 2,500 friends, which is great. She's halfway there. 5,000 is the limit on Facebook.
Really? 5,000? Okay.
5,000. And Carol posts a lot of personal information and pictures. Carol, the next step for your visibility
Mhm.
is to give tips on home buying, home selling, new home versus old homes, renting versus new homes, but don't overwhelm your audience with that stuff.
Mhm.
You know, you just kind of sprinkle it in there. And then client testimonials and sharing, you know, those closings and taking those pictures with the big key and all of that stuff is real important to your visibility on your social media.
You know what, Toni? I don't mean to interrupt you though, but do you know I done that and I had people call me up and say, "Hey, take me off."
Well, you would like to talk to your client and say, "Hey, do you mind if I post a picture?" And some do, some don't. Make sure you get their permission. Most don't mind because they have their own social media,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But you know you're super private clients, so you don't want to do that with those people. But most of us are already there, so and they want you to shout them out. So
yeah. I want to do that, but I had to respect their
sure,
privacy. It was
sure.
I did some deals this year, and I put pictures of the house and them in front of it, and then I put another house and said, you know, did some really nice little cool stuff with it, and that like the lady called me and said, "Hey, take
Yeah,
me."
but don't let that one lady scare you. You're gonna have people that unsubscribe from your email list, people that don't want to be on social media, but they are not the masses. So don't let one
Right.
person,
Egg
don't let one
stress.
start to stop
Exactly.
your show.
Stop my
Yeah.
show.
So
Yeah.
I know we have a question from Tracy, and then is that you, Aficio? I know somebody on the Galaxy S10 also has a hand raised. So why don't we?
Yes, that's
All
me,
right.
Tish. Yeah.
All right. So Tracy, you go ahead, and then we'll come right to you, Aficio.
Okay. So I guess the age-old question is now we're in this pandemic and this new normal, so to speak, that we find ourselves in this year. A lot of people have found themselves on the other side of the door when it comes to jobs. They don't have the money, and you know that they need your skills, but they just don't have the money. So how do you navigate around that? You know, a lot of people that can, like I said, utilize your skills, and I can coach them for the career part of it, but at the same time, they're out of a job. So they can't afford really to pay you or to do anything because they're trying to, you know, they have hand over fist and just trying to make ends meet. So how do you get that audience to come to you when the jobs aren't there? So
Okay.
that's kind of that's where I am right now because people think, oh, you should do the Zoom and that's great because normally I would probably meet somebody at a cafe or at Starbucks or something like that, but now we really can't with the social distancing. You think
But
people
we
can
use Zoom for one-to-ones all the time.
Always.
I mean, I have clients today. He's not a client yet, but he's getting ready to be. He just don't know it yet. But Howard's been following me since March.
I'm bored.
And I've never met him. He's in another state. And so Zoom works. But here's the deal. We want to help, and I'm gonna keep it 100. We want to help a lot of people who can't afford us.
Yeah.
And
you want to do that. You feel your heart breaks for them at the same
does,
time.
so you get broke for them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You want to go, how do you go from, free to fees, as they say?
So you gotta change your target market.
Okay.
One of the things that we're talking about at our conference is your target market is key.
Mm-hmm.
And you can go back and serve the people who can't pay you once you are getting paid, but you got to get paid and eat first. Put your mask on first.
Keep the lights on.
So that you are not stressed out trying to help people who can't pay you. And you feel bad that they can't pay you.
I do.
But those same people, now watch this, and I'm going to keep it real, Tracy, them same people will buy hair, buy purses. They buy what they want to buy.
Okay.
Is so people, don't let them tell you they can't afford it. I know there have been many times that I needed to invest in coaching and I didn't have the money, but I found the money.
Mm-hmm.
So people buy what they want. Don't let them tell you they don't have.
And
Some don't.
what I think is also important, Tracy, is that there are equally, believe it or not, as many high-level executives who need your services as there are people who are you would think can't afford you. In other words, there are people in every area. There are people who have the funds who are also looking for you. But if you position yourself in front of those who can't afford you, those who really can, who are searching for someone like you, won't be able to access you. So I agree wholeheartedly with what Toni said. Many times we think, and I did it. We've all done it. Okay. So don't think we're preaching because we read a book somewhere. We've been through it. And we found out that if you will position yourself to where you now can give back, you'll be able to both eat and serve. But you can't serve when you can't eat. All right.
And then Tracy, for you, there's so many organizations out there that are women in IT, Blacks in IT, Black women in IT, Hispanics, and you can serve those people. And listen, they may not have a job, but they had a 401k. I've tapped my 401k to get the help I need more than once.
Right.
So, that's a level of people that you could help. And then you can go and create some nonprofit to give back. But when you meet those people, now watch this. You go to an event, it's virtual, you meet those people, you connect with them on social media, and then you go and find out more about who they are and make those connections. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
if you
getting your target is important. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Ficio, what's your question, sir?
Hi, Tish. Hi, Tina. Hi. The question that I have is, I love the social media aspect, and I love like the Scipio and the MailChimp and things like that. I'm trying to figure it out as far as the cycle, like you all started out with going from contacts to contracts and then positioning yourself using social media. So I see this as a tool, kind of like your website is like your business card. But how do you sequence? In other words, if you're driving toward an event and after the event, the MailChimp, the Scipio, and even the Facebook to kind of connect, because what I do is when I have a class, for example, I have a class, a license to carry class that people want to get certified. I ask them, hey, can I post you guys on Facebook? And I have a Facebook, but it's my company name. And I put them on there and people see it. Who's ever following me at that point? I don't have a large following. All the business that I get is through referrals and through word of mouth. And it works for me at this point because my full-time job, I want to keep those two characters separate. You know,
Right.
what I do on the side and what I do at work. And Facebook doesn't completely like some of the things that are being posted as far as, you know, because of the license to carry or the Second Amendment. You know, they've kind of locked up my account for a week or two, depending on some of the things that I posted. And I don't post anything that's radical. It's more on the conservative, because those type of things can be used as a character reference if something were to happen. I mean, everybody looks at that. Facebook is a very good social marketing tool, but it's also, oh, this is the type of individual this is. Look at the kind of things that he posts and that type of thing. So, I mean, I understand the business aspect, and I'm on LinkedIn, but it's my business side. It's not it's my career side, my work side, not what I do on the side, LinkedIn. So you'll find me there, but you won't find my company name. So getting back to cycling the Scipio, Facebook, and the MailChimp, how do you put those three together, driving toward an event or after an event? Does that make sense, my question?
Do you understand, Tony? I know, I think I understand, but let me.
He's saying, how do you tie all those things together? And it's not MailChimp, it's Constant Contact. That's what I represent. MailChimp is one of the email marketings. So I do have all three. And so when I meet somebody at an event, so I'm meeting them at the event, I will, after the event, or while I'm there, connect with them on Facebook first. That's my default. So I connect with them on Facebook first. Then I ask them if they would like to get my free video series. And then I can put them in, when I get back to my office, I'm going to put them in my Constant Contact to deliver the video series. Only very special people go into my text messaging. And that's only because I have a limit to how many people I can put in there. So if there's a real connection, I may ask them if it's okay if I communicate with them by text. And then I put them in my text system. But Facebook is always first.
Yeah.
Because that's where I get all my intelligence.
Right. And
okay.
and also,
now,
I'm sorry, if you said,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Having a strategy around the way you're going to drive clients is also really important. So like you heard Tony say, I do this, then I do this, and I do this. So I would love to see you create like a client journey to know, where do you want them to end up? Is their ultimate goal to sign up for a class? Is their ultimate goal to go into your email marketing so that you can stay in touch with them? Or is it just to connect with them online? So knowing that is going to determine that path as well. But if it's ultimately for them to convert, like we're talking about, then you want to keep them in your site. You want them to be in a place where they can constantly hear from you, such as Constant Contact or some kind of email marketing system. So even if they're not ready to buy right this moment, you're consistently connecting with them. And if they are your ideal client, they're going to reach out when the time is right. The reason sometimes people aren't connecting with us online is because they're not our ideal client. They're not our target market, and that's okay. I've gotten to the point where I rejoice when someone unsubscribes or leaves, because they're making room for that right person who is looking for me. So figure out what that journey is you want that client, that prospective client, to go on, and then you can kind of set it up accordingly.
That's very helpful. I really appreciate that. That's very good. Now, I have a company Facebook. It's not a personal. Would you recommend that I create a personal Facebook, kind of reflecting the company in a way and tying those together?
I was wondering when that question was going to come up.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, everybody. I'm asking this. All of us have been asked to like people's pages. Like my page, like my page, like my page. And we've all liked people's pages, and we've asked people to like our page, perhaps.
Right.
When you look at your timeline, do you ever see those hundreds of pages you have liked? Not unless they have paid to boost their posts.
Right.
The page, when Facebook first came, the page was to showcase your business, but then about 8-9 years ago, they turned on this little blue button that says boost post. And what that means, you have to pay to play.
Okay. Yeah.
So when it comes to what page should you use to build relationships, it's your personal page.
Personal profile. Yes.
Okay. So, all right. So that answers that. But how personal does it need to be? Like I was mentioning to Tish, I don't want to be out there just yet at this point. I mean, I'm trying to build a platform to make eventually, hopefully one day get there. But I don't want to get my name out there just yet. Does that make sense? Or that's like an oxymoron. It's like you don't really want to get sales.
It's a jumbo shrimp.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that.
She said it's a jumbo shrimp. It's an oxymoron.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. I got it.
I still believe what we were talking about before, earlier in the conversation with Howard, I think it still applies, because you can also, you create the friendships, you create the relationships, and based on the type of information you post, the people who are looking for what you have are still going to be attracted to you, and you'll still be able to draw them into a conversation offline. You'll still be able to, based on the way that you can go in and do searches on Facebook, similar to what I said on LinkedIn, and you can find those people who are looking for what you have to offer and still talk to them about, hey, on my full-time job, I do something totally different, but I noticed that you had blah, blah, blah. I noticed you were a hunter. I noticed that you talked about wanting to learn how to shoot, blah, 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 whatever. And then say, I don't know if you know this or not, but I also host these classes on Saturdays. And, I'd love to chat with you about it if you're interested. So in other words, I think there's still a way to do it. You don't have to showcase your whole life. However, you're not going to make friends with the Facebook pages by themselves. Like Toni said, you have to kind of figure out what your balance going to be. And then until you're ready to rip the Band-Aid off and showcase all of what you're doing, you're going to have to figure out some more creative ways to make those connections, but I think you still can make them.
So the money,
all right, that's helpful.
The money is in Messenger. Hi, Z Wesley. The money is in Messenger.
Yeah.
What do I mean? In both LinkedIn Messenger as well as Facebook Messenger. What do I mean by that? When you find someone in a timeline or someone comments on your post, when you take the conversation to Messenger, that's where relationships is built. So she's not on tonight. I thought she would be on, but I'm going to share my screen with the world because this is all live on Facebook. And this is my client, Jessica. Jessica reached out to me July 19th. Now we are in the same Facebook group together. And I didn't know, but she's been paying attention to me. So July 19th, she said, this may sound weird, but I'm saying it anyway. I'm drawn to you. Can we connect?
Wow.
I was like, well, I don't go that route, but okay. Yeah, sure. Why not? Laugh out loud, right? Then she said, awesome. I'll reach out tomorrow. The next day, she said, I'm not exactly sure where this will go, but as I said earlier, I'm drawn to your authenticity. She sees my engagement in this group we're in. I'm currently getting ready to launch my new program, Debt Rescue, and working with a Tony Robbins coach since June. I love to connect and grow. Would you be interested in a call this week to learn more about each other? That's the approach. That's the approach you take when you're trying to connect with someone. So she's authentically trying to connect with me. Do you mind if we have a call this week to learn more about each other? I said, sure, I'm on vacation. Here's my link. The calendar link is gold. And choose a time next week. That'll be great. She did that. Got your request, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, she's in Canada. We had a Zoom call. We connected. And 2 months later, not instantly, 2 months later, she got into my coaching program. The money is in Messenger. And a lot of people think it's a nuisance and people are, they're getting on our nerves and blah, blah, blah. That's where relationships are built. And just the way Jessica approached me, right? I was a little weirded out at first, I know why, but I'm always about connecting with people. So it was easy. And now she's my client. She may have been trying to get me as her client, but she's my client now.
Toni,
Yes.
So I love your story. It's a great example. Can you elaborate a little bit about the use of Messenger on LinkedIn and how you kind of migrate over to the Messenger? Because I've not used it, and I'm not sure how to use it.
Whoa. Well, that's where the relationship is formed. Yeah. Especially in LinkedIn, because LinkedIn's out, I don't know, LinkedIn's a little funky when it comes to posting. I don't get a lot of comments. I don't get a lot, and I have thousands of people that follow me. So I'm going to show you another example just like that, Howard, in LinkedIn. So I did, Howard, you and I talked about this a long time ago when we first met, an automated message. And so I've only tried it once and it worked like a charm, so I stopped. So, and I'm going to show you this real quick, and then we want to give you guys an opportunity. So I have a client named Andre Cano, and I want to share my screen. And again, he's a client now, but back in January 13th-ish, okay? So I sent out a message. I said, hi, my name's Toni Harris Taylor. I'm with Network in Action, Northeast Houston. I'm a connector and I love meeting with other go-getters. Would you be open to a quick call to connect to learn about each other's businesses and hopefully pass referrals? I'm not saying buy me, join my group. I'm saying I want to connect with you, learn who you are, what you do, and let's see what happens from there. I may not like him. Hi, Toni. Thanks for your message. I love to. When tomorrow is good for you. Good morning, Andre. I responded with what's good. Sounds good. What's your number? Gave me the number on the spot. What's your number, man? What's your number?
Where is the Messenger link? I don't even know where you're.
It's messaging up here.
So that's the Messenger.
That's the Messenger for LinkedIn.
Right, but are you going to individual contacts through that?
Sometimes, yeah.
Absolutely. Those invites I just told you about for the roundtables, that's where I put them. When I say inbox or private message, that's what we're talking about.
Well, can you send it at one time to multiple contacts?
Yes.
You can.
You can, but don't. You mean 2 or 3?
I don't recommend.
Not a group. Like she said, that connection circle, 3 or 4 people, yes, but don't send to all thousands of people at one time. That's spam.
And even 4 people, I still send those as individual requests. I never send it as a group request for a few reasons. What if that person doesn't want it? What if she knows that person, she don't like her? You know what I mean? I don't know. And once you put someone in a group, it gets kind of hard to get them out. People have to kind of opt out, and so individual is better unless you have software, which is a whole other conversation, software that will send it in a group, but it looks like it's going to every person individually. Again, that's a conversation for another time, but unless you have some kind of software that allows you to do that, send it individually for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
One of the things I will say real quickly, as well as, having that personal profile, being personable, but being consistent in your visibility. Similar to Toni, I've had people reach out to me and say, hey, I heard you talking about this, or I saw you doing this. I have this group that I'd love for you to come and talk to. Never met me, right? They've only seen me on social, but they feel like they know me and they feel like they can trust what I have to say based on that consistency on social media. And these are paid opportunities. So, in addition to growing your relationships, you also can get new business. We gotta, Tony, maybe between now and the event, we can tally up how much business have we gotten just by using social media. It is in the thousands, the
I
high
can't tally it
thousands.
up. It's been so much and it's been
It's
a long, we've been at this a long
a
time.
long time.
It's
So we
it's
know it
been
works. We know it works.
$100,000 because
Easily.
the relationship leads to more.
More, exactly,
So
exactly.
it's hard to pinpoint, Jessica may refer me to somebody, I speak at that event and I get 10 clients
More.
out of that. And then I
Absolutely.
connect with those people. And so it's a snowball with social media.
I got 3 new clients last week before I went on vacation, right? And it all came from someone seeing me on social, referring me to someone else, where I spoke at this event and then got 3 new clients just from that one event. So that snowball is huge. And to your question, Carol, can other people see you in LinkedIn Messenger? Only the person you're communicating with. It's just like
Right.
your private Facebook Messenger.
Right.
And we could share on this all night long. We have story after story, example after example, and content upon content, but we want to save some for the conference because we know we'll have time to really lay it out for you. And as Tony said, we have an opportunity for you to not only come and hear the content and participate in the conference, but to get something very, very, very special. Tony, you want to tell them about that?
No, you made it up. You tell them. But before we tell them, let me go ahead and play our video so you can know what the conference is about before you
Perfect.
decide.
Are you a small business owner that hates cold calling?
Maybe, can you hear that?
Struggles with identifying your target
Hold on a
market,
second. Let me
attracting
stop
your
it. I always forget. I don't know why Zoom makes this extra little checkbox here.
Yeah.
All right, one more time.
Are you a small business owner that hates
See it,
cold
Tony.
calling,
Tony,
but
we can't
struggles
see.
with identifying
You see
your target market, attracting your ideal client, and
What's
more
with that?
sales?
We can
I
hear it
share my
now.
screen.
Yeah, it was
What'd
fine
you
the
say?
first time.
It was fine the first time.
Yeah.
We could hear it better the second time, but then we couldn't see it.
Okay, can you see it now?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect.
are you a small business
You can
owner
hear
that
it
hates
now.
cold calling, but struggles with identifying your target market, attracting your ideal client, and making more sales? If you are ready to get known, get connected so that you can get paid, then the Unstoppable Drastic Action Conference is for you. Sales and marketing coaches and networking experts, Tish Times and Toni Harris Taylor, are ready to help you drastically increase your income and be unstoppable. This conference is guaranteed to help you to think differently about sales and marketing, get you out of your comfort zone, and give you the strategies to increase your sales by turning your contacts into contracts. You'll learn attraction branding, unstoppable networking, how to speak more to sell more, how to use social media to stay connected, and so much more. Register today at unstoppabledrasticaction.com. Remember, take a drastic step today for a fantastic tomorrow and be unstoppable.
Awesome. All right.
So I have a question for each of you all who are here with us tonight. And I see that we have several people also on Facebook Live. So if you're on live and you want to answer this, just drop it in the comments. Did you hear something, one thing tonight that you're like, whoo, that was good? That was something I can use in my business, right? So think about this. There's something I've heard it called a hot seat. I love to call it a business makeover because sometimes it's just that one thing that you hear that can totally change the way that you're doing business and change the way you're attracting your ideal clients. So as we just invited you all to join, what happened?
I got it. Somebody.
You breaking up, Tish?
Okay.
You breaking up.
I'm
can
hearing
hear
her, I'm hearing her fine, so it may be the internet on your end, Carol.
Okay.
Mhm.
So if you have not already secured your spot for the Unstoppable Drastic Action Conference, I am going to highly recommend that tonight, matter of fact, as soon as we finish speaking, you grab your ticket. And the reason I say that is because we are going to be giving the first person who grabs their ticket tonight a business makeover live, meaning you will have time with us. Both Toni and I will be able to literally go in on your business and share with you some strategies that can turn everything around. And you'll be able to record it, be able to put, you know what I mean, to utilize it and immediately see change in your business. So that will be tonight for the very first person who grabs your ticket. So if you haven't grabbed it, I would say grab it right now. And just so you know, if you're moving slow and you're like, oh my God, I wanted that, then you'll want to join us on Friday as well, because we're only going to do one more. We're only giving away two of them. We don't have time for anything more than that. Also on Connect with Tish and Toni, we'll do one more, but only the first person tonight and the first person on Friday will be able to receive that business makeover live with both Tish and Toni helping you to work on your business. And that's all I got to say about it.
So you can use the promo code Toni or Tish to get $50 off. And then if you register as a VIP, you always want to register at a VIP because VIPs are people you're shoulder to shoulder or screen to screen with people who are investing at a higher level. So we've already made it affordable. It's $197 for VIP for the 2 days, and it's $147 for a regular admission for the 2 days, but you get $50 off. So VIP is $147, and then the regular is $97. And you just got $97 worth of value in this last hour. Don't tell me you did not.
I know, way more.
Okay. So imagine 2 days with us. So get your ticket. And then if you are VIP, you can bring a friend for $60.
Right.
Okay. So it does not get better than that. And a friend is awesome.
Very good.
So
Several friends, right, you guys? Several friends for if you're a VIP.
one friend, Carol.
One friend?
Yes,
Oh.
Carol. One friend.
One friend.
One friend.
So go find your friend.
How you offer this worthwhile conference periodically. I'm in transition now, and this workshop will be most suitable for my planning as my transition. So we are planning to do another one, but we don't have time or date yet. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the difference between the two levels? The major difference between VIP and general is we're having a PJ and profit party for the VIPs that Friday night, and no Speedos allowed. Acceptable Walmart PJs, please.
Are we supposed to dress in our pajamas?
It's just fun, Carol. We can only see your top anyway. So,
oh my God.
But it's going to be fun, and you'll get to rub shoulders and have extra networking again with people who are investing at a higher level. That's the people you want in your network, right? Not that the general admission aren't important, because they are, but people who invest at a higher level play at a higher level always. I have a client, and she just started my coaching, and she paid her coaching in full, and she got 2 contracts in the last 2 weeks. There's just something about when you invest in yourself, things show up. I have to keep preaching that and keep saying it because it's the truth. It's been true for me, and it's been true for my clients. And so I'm asking you all to invest in yourselves and get your registration in. And the first one tonight, because we have it on a timer, will get a makeover.
Absolutely. And Howard, I would highly, just offer to you to consider the information that you can utilize now as you're planning that transition instead of waiting until you're in your next phase. So you definitely make that decision. But the transition, sometimes you get some of the best breakthroughs in that place.
Not only that, but the people you're going to meet. So beyond what you're going to learn, you got to always be building your network. Everybody, I'm talking to everybody.
Mhm.
You don't know who you're going to meet at our event, and we do have speed networking built in. You don't know who you're going to meet at our event that can open a door for you for that venture.
Yes. Yes.
Always show up. The unstoppable drastic step is to show up. And invariably, you're going to meet somebody that can change your world. It's happened to me 100 times. That's how me and Tish met.
Yeah.
Showed
Yeah.
up to an event, didn't know what I was going to get. And that event cost $2,000 by the time we paid for hotel and plane and all of the food and all of that.
Yeah.
And you know, here you can do it from your home or office for 190 or for 147.
Yeah.
How many
What are you
folks are
gonna
you
ask, Howard?
expecting? And is it nationwide or is it?
It
mainly-
is. It's actually it's international.
International.
Remember,
many-
I got people from Canada.
Mhm.
How many folks are you expecting? Do you know, estimated?
100 to 150.
Yeah. There'll be plenty of people for you to meet, without a doubt. And we'll put some things in place to help you follow up, because you won't have time to talk to everybody, but you will definitely have a plan so that you can make those connections even after the conference.
And we have a pre-conference call as well to help you to utilize and maximize.
Are there,
You
are there a lot of business owners that are in the B2B world, or is it mainly for business to consumer companies?
No, it's mostly
Almost all
B2B.
business to business, yeah.
I mean, there'll be some consumer
Yeah,
products too, but most of us do business with
other
business owners.
Correct.
Okay.
What, you're saying business owners that cater to other businesses as opposed to the consumer audience?
Yes.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Very
Billy,
good.
you've been quiet today. You all right?
I just love learning from women.
We love having you here, Billy.
Gotta talk, Billy.
Well,
Well, it is 7:01.
I grew up. Say again?
I'm saying it's 7:01, and I've been at this desk since 8:00 a.m. So
Oh my
thank
God.
y'all so much. Next week is our last Monday mastery, and it's probably next to networking, the most important one.
Without a doubt.
Next week, we're talking about speak more to
Sell
sell more.
more.
Speak more to what, Tony?
Sell more.
Okay.
Using speaking as your marketing tool. And I'll just tell you, recently, the client I just told you about, recently, I closed $6,300 worth of clients at a 1-hour talk.
Mhm.
So, see y'all next Monday night. Get your tips
Right?
and let's do this. Bye.
Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
everybody.
Good
Bye.
night.
Guys,
Bless
see you
Thanks.
next
Bye.
Monday.
Bye-bye.
Next Monday at 6 o'clock, right?
Yep, same back channel.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.